Hi, everybody. Welcome to Why Not Reactions. This is Cash, and I've got my dear friend Bev Johnson with us again. If you didn't catch my interview with Bev last time, go check it out. Bev has a fascinating background in music, and especially with a couple of big name stars like Conway Twitty and Vince Gill. Now, Bev and her brother are also pretty famous of their own, but I would like to welcome Bev again. So I'm gonna let Bev do most of the talking because she's got some very interesting things to say. If y'all remember, Conway Twitty, her parents basically brought up Conway, his wife Mickey, and their three small children. They pretty much took them under their wing and put them back on their feet and got them going again. But I'm going to let Bev explain that. So without further ado, Bev, thanks again.
Thanks for having me.
Sure.
I love to talk about Conway and Mickey and the kids and the family. It's a big part of my life. And it was, like I said, it was just a God thing. Conway had been very successful in pop music with 5 or 6 gold records. Lonely Blue Boy, It's Only Make Believe, several of them. And he was playing on TV at the telethon. And he just kind of broke down. You know, he was just at his manager had stolen blind, and he was just at a crossroads in his life, and he had 3 little kids and a wife and in a hotel room, and one was sick, and he just kind of broke down with my dad, and my father being a little bit older, and just took them under their wings. And next thing I know, Conway and his band are driving off, and Mickey and the kids moved in with us, and we were just, I slept in the same bed with the 2 little girls. Yeah. And the little boy, Jimmy, shared a room with my brother, and they had twin beds. But
and how old were the children at that point?
Okay, Joni was 7, and Kathy was 6. It was 7, 6, and 4.
Wow.
And Jimbo, the baby boy, was 4. And so it was fun. You know, it was,
why not?
It was really fun. But yeah, but it really, I mean, Conway, after the success that he had, totally believed that my folks were the reason he could continue on and be a success. He was just thought he was going to have to quit the music and get a job and take care of his family.
Wow.
So it was such a blessing to both of us. Really, it was he did so much for our lives, and in the end, when my parents were sick, and he took care of them, of course, and it's just been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful relationship. And I just to bring this up, Mickey Twitty just passed away about a week ago.
A week ago, that's what I heard.
And so I've been talking to the kids a lot.
That's good.
They just had a kind of a personal funeral. And but anyway, I was just talking to them, and Joni and I were laughing because we really were so close in the same age. And Joni went on to sing a hit song with Conway with her dad, and I happened to have been there. I was telling Kathy that one of the highlights of my life, just playing out with the kids and running in, and Conway was home, and he had a guitar, and he'd just written this song about with his kids' names in it, Jimmy and Joni, and it's called Don't Cry, Joni. And so he just had it for all those years, and then up after.
And you were the babysitter.
I was the babysitter. Oh yes, I was the babysitter, and took me on the road with him, and I'd be in the hotel rooms while he was out at the honky tonks, and but it was such a cute song, such a sweet song, and then. It turned out later in life when he recorded it for fun, he had Joni, his daughter, who was really not a professional singer, just God-given, to sing on it. Of course, It was a massive hit, and Conway said nothing surprised him more, really, than for that song to have been the hit that it was. But it's such a cute song, and I'm sure anybody that's Conway Twitty favorite.
And he just wrote it while you were sitting there?
Yeah, he was working on it, and so he had the hook line and the chorus, and Jimmy was a boy who lived next door, and and we were just like, it was just so cute. We thought, oh God, and he just didn't do anything with it for years and years, but it was a massive hit. So I was hoping to get Joni to be able to call in and talk to us or something, and she's tied up.
We're going to, though.
No.
Joni will join us, not today, not at this point in time, but I think in the not too distant future, we'll get Joni. And that'll be interesting to hear these 2 ladies, Joni and Bev, talk about her dad, and how you create a song from just normal life. And I think we've seen that not just in country western, but in today's music. Certainly, with the comments that we got from Pink Floyd, our reaction on
Oh,
Pink Floyd, there was
yeah.
so much information that everybody was kind enough to fill in and give us tons of
Oh, that's
background.
fun.
So I think it's fascinating, and I think it's great to understand the genre or I mean, the genesis of music, the specific song and why it came about and what was going on in that life.
Well, there's a great video on YouTube, of course, with Conway on television at some award show or something where he and Joni sings with him live, and she was petrified. And it's a really cute interaction between the two of them because you can tell he's pulling for her and trying to calm her down, and she just does fabulous. Of course, knocks it out of the park, but she's beautiful and sweet, and all of his children were just precious
Yeah.
and just really good kids, good kids.
And tell us about was it Twittyville?
Twitty City.
Twitty City.
Twitty City. Yes, it was. He was, of course, he had Hello Darling, and he was just huge in the industry. And he wanted to keep his family close to him. I mean, he had to be on the road so much with them growing up, and he missed so much of their lives. And so he designed Twitty City to where his big home would be there, and then it was like separated with walls, but it's all connected. And the daughter Joni had a house for her husband and her kids, and Kathy and Jimmy, and Conway had an older son. His very first son was Michael Twitty, and Mike sang for years and years. I think still kind of does,
Wow.
and it kind of runs in the blood. And Michael was more my age, and so he did that, and then he had a huge museum which had all of his. He would collect cars and different things,
wow.
guitars, and all the gold records, and lots of fun things. And so he kept that Twitty City going for years. It was really wonderful for the fans.
And where was that located?
Hendersonville, I believe it was Hendersonville.
Is that outside of Nashville?
Mm-hmm. Yes, right. Yeah, yes, right in somewhere in suburb of Nashville. That's just really it's funny. I think it was Hendersonville, but I'm not positive. But he kept his family as close as he could, and it was for the fans to all be able to come. And anytime he was in town, he was out there in his knee-high socks and shorts and his baseball cap.
A country western singer, which we're going to talk about country western fashion. Bev and I have a little bit on today, but we'll talk about that in another interview. But here you've got a country western famous star wearing a baseball cap, shorts, and knee socks.
And that's
the visual is
always what you'd see Conway in,
Yeah.
no matter where he was year round. It's just if we wasn't just in his suit and singing on stage, he was just the greatest. He really was. He and one time he leased a whole ship, a small ship, but I mean it was a ship, and it to Twitty, cruise with Conway. That's what it was called. And so just for his fans to go. And so he took Mother and I, and we got to each one bring our best friends, and
Oh, my.
and I performed on the ship. It was really fun, and he had his kids sang too, but it was a lot of fun. But he was just amazing. He really was.
And he passed away early.
He very early. I believe he was only 64, or
God.
he hadn't even been in the hospital. Been sick. It was an aneurysm, and it was very sudden, and it was very sad.
And how long ago was that? What age man would he be now?
That's a good question. So I think it was because I was living in Dallas, and must have been in the early 90s. So honestly, I don't know how it would be
That's
now.
okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Well, Mickey, I guess Mickey, I believe, was 85.
Oh, okay.
So that's probably a good.
About,
He was probably a little older
in
than
that
Mick. I think
90s.
she was really young when he met her in Conway, Arkansas, I think.
Yeah.
But Mick was great. She was awesome. Several times in my life,
Did she sing?
No, she didn't sing. No, she didn't sing. And none of the other kids did either. Well, Kathy did. I take that back. I'm sorry, Kathy. Because she was a great little singer too. And Kathy, the middle, was she is just a spitfire, big black eyes, and just adorable. There are some YouTube videos of Kathy too.
Good. Well, if y'all enjoyed this with Bev, which I know you did because we got a lot of excellent comments last time, give us a comment, give us a like, subscribe. And with that, we're going to thank Bev. She's going to stick around. We're going to do a couple of videos, reactions with Bev. And as I mentioned, we're going to do a little very interesting thing about country western fashion. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon.